What's going on, people? Um, yeah, it's been crazy the last couple of days. The last video I did, I was, checking on some coins that I posted and just was giving like a recap. It was really it was a really whole different scenario than what we're in right now. But yeah, let's get into looking at Filecoin. Um, the last time I did the update, I was like, we're at this like, downward resistance, and it was creating like a descending triangle. And I was like, even if we broke down from it, um, as long as it made a higher low, it was still fine. And like, yeah, there's a 30% chance that it breaks out. And that 30% played out. And if, looking at the triangle, I mean, you broke out of it, you back tested it, and then you ran, and you've been gone since. Filecoin has like, as far as like the coins that are like leveraged on Binance, the last like 2 days is probably one that I believe is the top performer. So this has been, a really nice run. Um, when I first posted, they, get in, it was around like, it was like 2270. Um, yeah. So you're up like 70% if you took that call. Um, if you did leverage, whatever leverage you're on, multiply it. I mean, if you just, took a risk, because I told you I had my stop loss under the descending triangle, just in case it would break down, and I would just buy cheaper, and it never got hit, and it just ran. And so, say you just took it from the descending triangle breakout, you're up about 60%. I mean, so where do we go now? Kind of exceeded this target. Um, this trend line here. There was like resistance at 28 that I put on another chart that I forgot to plot on here. It was like 28.10. Yeah, like right here. It's in that range. But you could see that we're testing this peak high. And sorry about that. Currently, on the 4 hour, I mean, RSI is at 91, and MACD is, I mean, it's just an epic, pump right now. But what could happen is we, start selling off and come back down to like testing, could come all the way back down to 28. It tested as like support before we really start running again. But I mean, or we could just flag here, come back, you know, to this like zone and around 33 and then run. Um, just gotta wait it out, or we could just keep running. I don't, at this point, I don't think that will happen, because you look at the RSI on the 4 hour. Let's look at the daily. Dailies, it's at 87. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it pulls back for runs again, but I'm expecting higher prices, especially with this type of price action. Um, I was saying how we start getting higher lows consecutively, that the asset was being accumulated, and so whoever was buying in here, hopefully it was you. I know it was me. I mean, I'm expecting a real retrace. We haven't even hit the 236 yet. So this could, I mean, anything's possible. This could be just one big rally before it goes lower. But mean, the way these coins are performing, the way, you know, I'm looking at other setups and other charts I'm about to show. I think this is really just getting started. So, I mean, me personally, I'd expect it to flag and then run again, and maybe flags for like a month or a few weeks or a week or whatever, and then starts running again and start hitting these levels. And I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll just run straight to 116. I always said that you got to break this $60 peak. Maybe that's the target before we really flag and retrace and, you know, form another pattern and get some more accumulation before, you know, we run up to higher targets. But I mean, that's Filecoin. It looks great. We're going to move to the next one. That. And this has just, let me delete this for right now. Go longer time frame. I mean, you're at this peak. You're stopping right at it. Liquid RSI is just getting into overbought territory. He's at 73, could still keep going. You're breaking it. The week doesn't end till Sunday, so you're not going to get any confirmation until, you know, next week. I mean, till Sunday. Sorry. I'll get to the 4 hour. You're right at this resistance. You know, you have to break this to continue to run, and you're making if you don't continue to run here, you can potentially be making some bearish divergence. But I mean, it still looks strong, honestly. Go scroll even more into this, really just kind of like flagging to the upside. That looks good. You know, I've been saying since 31 cents that the chart looked good. I was expecting, you know, expecting it to hit its all-time high, which we did, and I'm expecting more upside. We'll probably, you know, break it and then come back to back test it as support before running higher. But I mean, you know, if you got a position in here, like, it looks great. I don't see anything that's telling me like we're going to reverse. The momentum is definitely with the bulls right now, and I expect to see, you know, higher prices. Throwing some fibs to some shorter term targets if we break this peak. Kind of like at the 88% fib right now. You know, we break the wick, which, you know, if we break this candle, we're gonna break this wick, and the first target would be 61 cents. Second target 67, and third is 76. But like I said, this is a descending broadening wedge. Your target is this is beyond these fibs. So I mean, that's bad. Let's go to the next one. OMG. I was using the Bitfinex chart for this. Yeah. Still hasn't broken, you know, but bro, you know, I had it played on another chart, the consolidation. I mean, you broke it, yeah, back tested it, and you're still going. You're not as strong as the other coins right now, but you know, if you're in OMG or if you missed OMG, maybe a good thing. There's still opportunity for more upside. You know, if you miss Filecoin or you miss that, it's still, you know, trending higher. RSI looks fine. It's just hitting 65. I mean, you got a lot more room to run. Look at the tether pair. Yeah, I was saying the last video because, you know, just be cautious until we start making higher highs. I like they do send a triangle, and I said if we broke the trend line, we broke this trend line, you know, it was a long, and scrolling in more, broke the trend line, almost back tested it, and we're still running. I mean, OG still looks good. I still believe in that. We break 590, and you break this peak, and then you break 590. The next, you know, resistance, I think it was like at 930. Let me scroll out more. Oh, that's why I was using the Bitfinex chart. It's a lot more data. Yeah, it was, you know, the 950 peak that we wicked off of. So, you know, that's OMG. Still looks good. Everything is still, you know, bullish for the most part. That was the three main coins, but there was another one I haven't been updating on, but I've been sharing the chart, and that was Theta. And I haven't used this chart in a long time. Delete all this stuff. This one broke out. It's had stuff applied for months on this chart. You get to see all those higher lows. Like, that's accumulation. People were, you know, buying this asset up. And this, I think when I was first posted this was around, I don't even remember, maybe like 210, maybe a little bit lower. But you could you broke out, you had a false breakout, and then you consolidate under, you know, the trend line, and you broke out yesterday. And I mean, yesterday it was like, besides Bitcoin, it was like the top performer, and you're up like 35. I actually added to the position around like was like 218 or 228, sorry. Added more on to my position after I saw this consolidation and it broke out. And, you know, the target was 415. 100% measure move of this target on the logarithm, the log scale. Sorry about that. But it's performing well. Just another, you know, coin that was like one of the first videos I posted. I just haven't done an update on it. I mean, it still looks good actually. My hair is 407. Is the target, but actually got this a little off. It moves a little bit. It's a little off, but like 410 is more likely to target. But it still looks good. It's probably, you know, you see how in this run you sell off and get back to overbought. You sell off, get back to overbought on your RSI. on your little dips. I mean, that's just, but you're making higher lows every time. So, 410, I'm expecting it to hit it, sometime in the near future. But data still is looking good. I mean, if you miss these moves, I mean, only thing I'm doing right now is just recapping like where we're at. If you're getting to this video late, I mean, unfortunately, you're just going to look for another setup. One of those setups was XLM. That's actually breaking out today. I posted this last video, and you had an impulse, then you had a consolidation for over a month. So you had a month to get into XLM at lower prices. And now, I don't think you're going to have that opportunity. I don't believe we broke out of this little structure here at the top of the breakout yet, but we're like a few percentages away from doing it. Let me hide this real quick. Oh no, you're breaking out of it. So, if you missed the other moves of other coins, I posted this, I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. It was Sunday. This was, another potential play to make some gains, to flip some, make some income, or however you're, trading these coins, or you're reason to trade these coins. But you're breaking out, back testing. I'm expecting, the targets are around like 72 cents. It just looked like a great, great setup from the impulse. Consolidation. Now you're going to your next target. Same as here. You had an impulse, consolidation, you went to that target. Now you're going to your next target. I mean, XLM is in a clear uptrend. You have been since March. You keep making higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows. And now, we're already making higher highs. But like I said, I expect us to get even higher to about 72 cents. The coins. Oh, EOS. Yeah, let me look at the Bitfinex chart for this. You finally broke 390. That was a key, key resistance. Last time I shared, let me go to weekly. I shared all the times, we kept at the zone, kept rejecting 390, and we're finally above it. Their next real resistance is like 550. Shouldn't even use the wick. Should use the candle close. About $5. But that is your next resistance. Probably going to go straight there, and then consolidate in this range before breaking out further. Or, if you're really bullish, you're just will continue to run. You see this target here, kind of had this like as a semi-triangle. Kind of move. Target like $10. It's not really my main target. I have a crazy target on EOS. A lot of people I've been posting it, and a lot of people were like, oh, that's not going to happen. That's crazy. It's a crazy target. But the target is, oh, wow. I think that was a little bit, I had it at $35. And that might have moved. Oh no, it's even higher. Um, I'd have another chart. It was like $35, but you saw like I think we're going to all-time highs. We're going to break this peak and run higher. Um, I just think a lot of it's not it, the chart just looks good, honestly. The project itself, has a lot of development. They have a lot of partnerships. They have a lot of capital. So I think that's going to be put to use, and that's going to reflect in the price action in the coming weeks and months. So I've been telling people throughout this whole range, like buy EOS. I know it's been underperforming, hasn't moved, but once we break 390 and we start breaking these next resistance points, I just see higher upside than a lot of other coins that have already made their moves. Um, but EOS is looking great. That's another coin. You could look at Ethereum, but it's just like a chart that I've been using. So cranking, scrolling. I mean, you broke your previous all-time high, and you're making a new high. You hit already 1822. I think that was a fib. Was your 1217 fib, um, or 1214? Sorry, um, but it still has and it still needs to run, but it still has a lot of room in the 4 hour. Really, just been moving sideways for the most part. I know that the ETH BTC pair took a dive yesterday with all the news and everything. Like Bitcoin was outperforming, and I had this plotted as a rising wedge. And you broke out when you're breaking bearishly, back tested it, and now you're starting to break down. You had bearish divergence on a daily on here. You had the peak, and then you had a higher peak, but you see the MACD and RSI are both lower. So that's not good for Ethereum, because what that's telling me is Ethereum is not going to perform as well as Bitcoin um, until we pivot and start running again. And I've been sharing this chart for at least like 4 or 5 months now. Potentially, when it was in here, and I start to see like, oh well, this could be potentially like a head and shoulders. This could be a massive, head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. Sorry, um, but we broke out, and now we're breaking down out of it. I mean, still the week is not over yet, so potentially it could come back down and then pivot and then run again before the week is up. Hopefully that happens, but you don't want to start getting candle closes consecutively, with this pair. This is what that tells me is like Ethereum, it might still go up in price as long as Bitcoin goes up in price, but it's going to underperform Bitcoin as a whole. And that's not good. But, I know with all the Ethereum fees that are happening right now, maybe people are looking for other chains to like, a lot of developers and a lot of people that are using like the DeFi market, they're looking for other solutions. So maybe people are dumping, Ethereum for these other side chains. Um, let's look at Wax. That's actually up today too. Yeah. And I think I adjusted this trend line because just how this chart is not a lot of data on here. Just plotted it like, more like this. I like this down sloping resistance. Um, broke out like this diamond pattern. You're starting to move a little bit. You can say it was up like 8% today, 7-8% today. It still looks good. I'm still hearing a lot of chatter, like from podcasts, everything. Like people are talking about NFTs. I'm telling a lot of people, like the NFT market is a very underrated, undervalued market right now. If you're hearing this, I'm telling you, if there's a NFT project, like post it in the comments. Um, I think it's a market that's really going to take off in cryptocurrency. Um, you could do a lot of very unique things with, tokenization. Um, it's something that if you're like an artist or, you're very creative, it's a market that you should look into. But, this is just one of the ways I'm trying to capitalize on this up and coming sector in cryptocurrency. I think NFTs in the next, in the next few months to next few years are really going to take off. And you might be buying, who's going to be the catalyst? Like who's going to be the leader in this space? Will it be Wax? If it is, you're buying at levels like you're buying at, you can still buy today, 5 cents. You might be seeing this video a few years from now, like, oh, I should have bought when it was there. I'm telling you now, like this asset is very, to me, it's just looking at the chart, is very undervalued, and it's going to, move higher. And you have a real realistic potential of like 10x gains in the future, but it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time to, play out, but it still, definitely looks good. But I mean, we can look at Bitcoin. That at the time I was saying before the Elon news, it was starting to lose a little bit of momentum. It was like intraday. So you always got to be, cautious about that. You can't make, you can't, I wasn't talking about saying short. I was just saying be cautious. We were kind of like stalling. And then, Monday, was it Monday? I think it was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. We were in this range, just rounding out, making another higher low. And Elon, the whole Tesla news that they were buying, they already bought Bitcoin. I saw a Reddit post that they bought Bitcoin around like 33,000. And so they were just, layering in around in this range right before the breakout. So, or maybe they were buying here. I don't, it was probably this range. But, Bitcoin made the measure move. He hit the measure move. So from this break, from this consolidation, but what you want to happen is, you just make another higher low, continuing to run. I know, the 4-hour, you got elevated levels. The things you do have to watch out for, because we did make a higher high. If we do start to fizzle out here and start to sell off, you will start forming bearish divergence on the daily. So that's something to watch out for. That's only for the RSI. So honestly, I don't think, with all this news and all these other companies that are buying Bitcoin and starting to report it, I think you're just going to keep hearing about, other major companies buying Bitcoin. And I think the price is going to probably, make, just continue making higher lows and then continuing to run. I mean, now, my perception on Sunday was like, oh, well, I'm being a little bit more cautious. But now it's like, yeah, I think we're just going to continue higher. And I think I'm still, why I'm mostly holding alts is because I believe alts are going to outperform. I have a new coin that I want to add, that I, just bought actually. I've been buying a little bit here, a little bit there, and I bought some more today, and that is Kin. This is another Lotto pick, like Filecoin was. But you see that we hit the lottery, and I've been watching this project. I mean, I bought this coin back in 2018, uh, right? This chart doesn't have all that data because it's hit BTC, but I mean, I bought this coin a long time ago, and I rode up to the all-time high, which is higher than this. And then, I think I mostly broke even, but I lost, I ended up making a loss because I didn't sell at the top. Or I didn't sell when at higher prices. But, they went through issue with the SEC. They were sued. It tanked the price. The project was pretty much dead. I mean, I've really followed this project a lot. I was on like the Kin Telegram groups, and I remember here because we were like, there was a channel it was in, and it broke it, and I was like, oh, I think the coin is finally dead. And then literally like 2 days later, it was reported that they settled with the SEC, and you had like an epic, like a 1,000% move, a 10x move. Actually, 20x move. And I kind of missed all this run, but I just kept my eye on it. And then, I was looking, I was like, oh, well, if you know anything about chart patterns, that is a cup. That is a cup. And we start making the handle. So this is a cup and handle pattern. If you break this, this wick, your potential move is another 20x move. And why that's significant is like the measured move is the all-time high. I got the little moon thing. It's to test the all-time high. And I have this chart. Let's chart it here. It's a little bit different. I don't like using this site as far as charting. I just like to get more data because some of the pricing is inaccurate. Because I don't know what I think it does a average of all the exchanges, or I don't know what exchange they're using, so it's going to be a little bit different than the hit BTC chart. But the idea is still the same, and this does have the all-time high, and that's really the target. And so this is a Lotto pick. Why I bought somewhere today is because we had the impulse up from the low, get an impulse up, and you consolidate in, you're in like a wedge, and you broke out of the wedge. And if you see this white line, sorry, you could never, it kept bouncing like in this range. It's really up here. It's right really there. And you're bouncing like you broke out. Now you're consolidating, kind of like Theta. And now, you made another like channel wedge, and you're breaking out of the wedge. And so if you break this resistance, like you're going to the next resistance. But like I said, like longer term might seem crazy, like, oh, this ain't gonna happen. I'm telling you now, the target is the all-time high. And then of course, when you break all-time highs, you're going higher. So the project's still around. They're still developing, still making dApps, and They're now on the like Sol blockchain, and I think I bought Sol around like 60 cents. We could look at Sol real quick. I know this chart is gonna have a lot of stuff on here. I could just delete. This doesn't even have a lot of, it's the Sol USD. It's just, yeah. The reason why I bought this coin, I heard of this coin was because of Ken. Because like I said, I was on their Telegram group, and they were like, "Oh, they're moving to a new blockchain that's supposed to be faster. It's SOL." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, I bought, in this range, and today it's at almost $8. So you see, at a downward, consolidation, made a higher low, run again. I mean, and that's really what you look for in a bull run, is like you want to be buying in these areas where it consolidated and then pivots and runs higher. I mean, right now, if you're a crypto, like, I don't know how you're losing money, because like I can pull up almost any chart right now, and it's either broken out or it's about to break out. For the most part, there's a lot of new capital coming into space, a lot of exciting things happening, but still in this position. I think it's going to go higher. They're just starting with their development. Their Uniswap exchange. I think it's on SNM Spectrum or something like that. I don't know. There's too much. There's too many coins. There's too many things to know, to follow. But this coin's been performing very well. But yeah, going back to Ken is, to me, a buy. You're going to have to look on CoinGecko to where to buy it. I think this is on their DEX exchange. So, these targets are crazy. You could see, like, we haven't even hit a retracement fib yet. This could just sell off, but I'm not saying go crazy on it. It's a gamble, but you got a potential large return coming, if not larger, depending on how long this bull run for crypto, lasts. The longer it lasts, the higher the prices were going. And this, I remember one of the jokes for this coin was like, not a joke. It was like people wanted to push it to a penny. I mean, you see Dogecoin, like, this could be the next Dogecoin. So this is just some of the coins I wanted to share today, and just recapping a lot of the coins that I already have positions in. If anything, if I've seen another setup or another opportunity, I will post it. XLM's pulling back a little bit, but before I go, just looking at FTM, and the data's not pulling up. Yeah, well, I'll post this. This is already broken out, but until next time, I mean, just good luck. Hopefully, you're in some of these positions. Hopefully, you're in in another coin that's making you gains. But until next time.